put this on you. Will you pay attention, please? I know you're busy eating some weeds, but can I put this on you? Don't hit your head, you goof. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? How's your noggin? Is your noggin okay? Is it? Is your brain a little rattled? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Hi Sage. I have no idea what day of training it is, and I haven't filmed for quite a bit because I have so much footage to go through. Hi. So it's been a couple of weeks since I filmed, so hopefully she looks a lot different now than she did before. She is gross. She is doing just freaking phenomenal. As you guys can tell, she's pretty comfortable at this point with people. She's just doing amazing. So I am gonna film today's session as much as I can. Little Nugget is sleeping, so we'll see how long he decides to sleep today. Hopefully this angle will work okay. It's been kind of off and on raining, so I decided to try putting the camera over here to see if I can keep my phone from getting too wet. Gonna do some work? She's like, no thanks, I'd rather not.
So we were working on a little bit of lunging. You can see she was very, very quiet, and I wasn't too sure why, but you know, maybe it was just that it was a rainy day. We all feel a little groggy in those gray days. So we started with just a little bit of walking.
It's not food time, come on.
Her stops were getting a lot better. She was starting to actually walk into me and not just kind of stop and look, which was fantastic.
Oh, it's starting to rain. Okay. Trot it. Trot it.
Her transitions are getting to be a lot better too, so trying to get her to pick up the trot when I asked her to, just with that first trot up, she was getting a lot better. Again, a really nice stop where she actually really fully turned into me, which was huge. Had to rethink there for a second what we were doing, but that's okay.
Good.
I absolutely love the way she trots over poles too. I think it's so cute. We were starting to get to the point that we could do changing directions. Sorry, my kiddo's in here. If you guys can hear that, he's making all sorts of noises. It's kind of hard to hear, but I did ask her to walk, so she's now starting to figure out what walk and trot actually means.
Good. Ooh, very nice.
See, she was a little bit more hesitant to turn into me there, but she turned her head and was looking and chewing. I wanted her to think about coming into me, so I just stood there for a minute while I talked to her.
Good girl. Good job, Mama.
She kind of turned her head away a little bit, so I thought, okay, just step back a little, come back in, then get some scratches. She seemed to respond to that pretty well. She didn't turn her head away the second time. I don't know why she looks so grumpy throughout all of this, but she does. Very nice transition right there. I pretty much said trot up, and she did, which was fantastic.
Good girl. I just don't understand why you look so grumpy.
I literally asked her why she's so grumpy, and she just looks grumpy, and I don't know why.
I just don't get why you're upset, honey. Why are you upset today? It's okay. Why are you upset?
Again, just wanted to kind of give her a minute and let her think, and she didn't seem like she was going to move in much, so I just went back and grazed her, let her know everything was okay.
Good.
There's only a couple steps there, but I really just wanted to see her make the initiation to move forward. By this point, we'd obviously been picking up her feet to clean her feet out multiple times. So that first foot she's always kind of stuck on, and she still does it to this day. That first foot is always a little bit difficult for her to pick up. I don't know what it is. She also always loves to sniff my butt, and it's really weird. But she still is doing a lot better with picking it up. We always go for that left front, left hind, right front. That's just kind of the loop we go. You can see right there, she flat out picked it up before I even asked for it because she knew that's what was coming. And that's the goal that I like to get with any horse. Sage is that way too. That I always start with that left front, do a whole rotation, and by the time I get around to that last foot, she knows what we're doing. And see her just kind of check me out and see what I'm doing, but, you know, same thing that we always do. So you guys could see a little bit of that little bit of leaning forward that I just did was enough to cue her to walk forward. If you guys haven't watched it already, I think I've mentioned it before in some of these videos, but check out my showmanship video. I'll put a link up above and down in the description. But that gives you a ton of tips as to how to better perform for a showmanship class, which I think was huge for our handling and conditioning, and even for our trail class too. I don't know what we got stuck on right there, but she was paying attention to something else. You can hear the water running now. I swear it's not your guys' water at your house. It's the water in mine because I forgot to turn it on. So here we're working a little bit on that setup. And you can see she kind of moved her feet forward. Now I'm starting to ask not just for, hey, forward movement, but I want you to get that foot in line. I always move the left front and right hind. I try not to mess with the other ones. There's a really good example of that leaning forward. I didn't really touch my hand with pressure at all. It was just me lean forward and get her to understand that, okay, we want to walk forward now. We were starting to work on a little bit more of turning while leading and getting her to pay attention to where my body is. I don't ever want to push on their face at all. I want them to just kind of turn with me. So that was a fantastic setup. I made sure she got lots of praise for that one. Just immediately moved that left front forward, and that right hind took a second, but she got it in line with that other one. We're working on a little bit of ground tying here, and I was walking a little bit faster than I normally do. I wanted to introduce a little bit more of that motion and the higher energy going on and have her still stand where she is. Kind of touch her butt, make sure that if a judge were to ever touch her butt, she would stand there. Jumping jacks are great because of the sound that it makes, and it's a huge motion. Here I'm kind of asking her for that head down. She wasn't totally getting it with just the gesture, so I ended up grabbing the leader up, just kind of get that little bit of a tap. Too much motion there, but that's okay. We go back to it, kind of flinches, and then she settles back down. Don't judge how I run here. I am not a runner, and these are not the boots to run in. So I just was trying to create a lot more motion and get her used to that. I felt like I stepped really quickly at her for that first few steps of the haunch turn, so I think that's why she kind of stepped away a little bit. She just wasn't prepared for that much momentum into it, so I kind of slowed it back down, gave her a few little shoulder taps just to get her to understand. She kind of lifted that foot, but I'm okay in the beginning if they're just lifting it, putting it straight back down. You could see this side was 10 times better, and I don't know why, but still stepping forward just a little bit, but she was definitely getting the motion better. We got some really good steps in there at the end. see my hand is really soft there. I don't want to put a bunch of pressure. You can see a little bit of leaning forward from me to get her to back, just like I would with a walk.
Good.
And I lean back just a little bit for that stop.
Oh, look at that. Good girl.
I was so proud of her for that. I was
girl.
shocked because really all I was asking her to do was to back off of me a little bit. She stopped a little ahead, but she backed straight into a nice setup, so that was fantastic.
That was very nice. Oh, very nice. Oh, thank you. Good girl.
That is it for today's video. That's the end of week 5. That's all I got. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.